Hello, I want to share with you our activity baskets in the brown cubby. So we have quite a few of these gray baskets that have different supplies in them that you can pull from the brown cubby and take to your table. So this one is the Play-Doh. It has a label on the outside, and there is little cups of Play-Doh in here and some tools at the bottom. The thing that I ask is that you don't mix the colors and make sure you put the lid on nice and tight so that it doesn't dry out. So this is one of the Play-Doh baskets. I have two, and we can have 4 students at each basket. So this basket could be taken to any table, and 4 friends could use this basket together, and then they would clean up together. So that's one activity. Another activity is the memory card game. It's in its own box. It's pretty beat up, so I've taped it back together. But these are memory cards. So you would take these cards and you would turn them upside down, and you and a friend or a group of friends would take turns flipping 2 over. And if they don't match, you flip them back and the next person goes. If they do match, then you flip them, then you get to keep that match. So these 2 match, so I get to keep those, and then I get to flip again to see those 2 don't match, so my turn is over and the next person goes. Another activity is the Kugam pattern blocks. The thing about these baskets is we have 3 of them, and each basket is a large 10 and a small 10. So the large 10 has the shapes inside, and the small 10 has cards that have you find those pieces and put them together to make this. So I would look for these pieces. I need 2 red half circles, and then I can flip this over and make this become that picture. So I take these 2 red circles, put them together. Here's the smile, white circles, then black circles, and there I have made that out of those. And I have the cards numbered so that we don't mix up the cards or the shape. So if someone next to you is doing a Kugam game, then I want you to go to a different table if you want to do that with your basket, because I don't want the pieces to get mixed up. Then you don't have the pieces you need, or you don't have all the cards you need. So then when you're finished, you're going to fit all the pieces back into the large tin, close the large tin, close the small tin, put them inside the basket, and put the basket back. And that's what the label looks like on the outside. We have 4 tangram puzzles. So inside the basket, you should have a book that shows you how to do one, or you can just play around with it and try to figure it out. Unfortunately, this basket, I was putting these shapes into a Ziploc bag. So this basket from last year, the shapes didn't get put back in the Ziploc bag. I don't know what happened. But with this, is you're just trying to get all the pieces to fit, however best way you can get them to do that. So it might take a little while to get them all to fit, but it's like a puzzle. And so please make sure, if your basket, the outside looks like this, if your basket has a Ziploc bag with pieces in it, please put the pieces back in the Ziploc bag. Put the book back in the basket. And then this doesn't want to sit like flat in the basket because it's just a little too wide. So you're just going to make one end scoot down, and then this side you're going to push down a little bit. It'll still stick up a little bit, but this will fit on the shelf like this, okay? We have Picasso face puzzles. So inside the basket you're going to have this, because you can make it a game if you want. And then you have the base of the face, so that's the top. And then inside the bag you have all of these facial features: eyes, nose, mouth. And then you also have a little die, a little dice here. All right, so what you can do is you can just play around with this and put a nose and an eye and another eye, and you can make it any way you want, or you can make it more like a game. So more like a game, you would take this you would roll the dice. And so you've got a 1. And on the first roll, you're going to put an eye. So this is the eye I'm looking for. So I'm looking for that eye to put. So here it is. So here's the first eye. The second eye, I would roll my dice. My second eye is a 6. So I'm looking for this eye. Now, hopefully last year students kept all the pieces together, but I'm not seeing that eye here right now. So, oh, here it is. This is the eye. All right, so there's the eye. So then I would roll again. 2 for the nose. So the 2 nose is this one. And then the fourth roll is looking for that. That's this one. So there is my puzzle, and it's kind of like a game. When you are finished, I want you to put the base in the bottom of the basket. It will not fit completely flat, so be careful. Put the laminated directions, get the little dice to go in there, and take all the pieces and put them back in the bag. It's no fun to play a game and not have all the pieces. So with the tangrams that we just tried, I said that the pieces should have been in a plastic bag. Well, this one does have the plastic bag, so please make sure all the pieces get put in. Okay, we have pattern blocks, so that's what the outside looks like. We have these cards. And you see how the cards are numbered, because I have 2 sets. So this is set 2, so you want all the 2s together. So then you're going to come through and you're going to find all of these, and you can build a shape picture. So this is a lotus flower. You can build a lotus flower onto the laminated paper. Or you could build it on the table. And that's what you do with the tangram blocks, the pattern blocks. These pattern blocks, not tangram. Then you could just lift this up, slide that in there, and then this fits back into. Okay, so next we have our spirographs. This is what the label in the basket looks like. We have 3 books. If you're wanting a specific design, you would find the design, look for the holes and the number ring that you would use. My students who focus on the book have a hard time. They don't really get, we're either missing the ring or it doesn't quite look like that. So I don't use the books, I just do it for fun. So what you need first is a blank piece of paper. Then you need an outer ring. And you can see the ring might be squarish shaped or triangle-ish shaped. I think the circle ones are the easiest. And then you need an inside shape. One of these that could be a circle, it could be kind of a triangle shape, a star shape, but I find the circles are the easiest. These other shapes get a little tricky, so if you haven't done spirographs before, do the circle first, the inside circle, and see what you can do. Now inside the basket are a bunch of great fun gel pens. The problem is that some of these gel pens are so pointy. Like this one is so pointy, it rips a hole in your paper. But these colored pens, they have more of a rounded tip, so I would use those. Or I would use a regular pencil. But what you're going to do is hold the outer ring with the hand that doesn't hold the ink pen. You're going to take the inside shape and push it against the teeth, so the teeth are together. And then you can put your pen in any hole. And you're going to make it go around in a circle. Okay? I'm going to remove that, see what design that made. The reason I like the circle is because it goes around easier. Now, if I can do a different color, I can do a different hole, and then it'll make a completely different design. Remove it, and there, another design on top. That's really beautiful. I could put this back in, pick a different hole. Okay, and there, another design on there. Very beautiful, but it takes practice. So unfortunately, these gel pens that I threw in here, their points are just too sharp. They rip through the paper, see? And that makes me very unhappy. So that might frustrate you. So I would only use these ballpoint pens. I have a bunch of these that are black. Or you could try colored pencil, but marker tips are too thick. So that's how you use the Spirograph. Put everything back in the basket, including the books. And then finally we have the fashion plates. So you're going to need a blank piece of paper. You're going to need this tray with the arm that flips up, the frame. And then you're going to pick a bottom and a top. Sometimes you can pick two tops. So I've got, here's a skinny yellow top for a head, and here's a body. And then here's a bigger yellow top that's the head and the body. I'm gonna do this skirt, this head, and this top. Or I could take those two out and do this one. So I'm going to leave these here. Then you're going to take your paper, put your paper over the top, and then bring the blue frame down. And inside this basket should be some black crayons that don't have wrappers. So here's a black crayon. It doesn't have a wrapper. You're going to put it on its side, and you're going to pull down. I guess this isn't black. I guess this is a blue crayon without a wrapper. You're going to pull down and push up. Now the reason you don't want to use the end is because you end up coloring it in. You want to use the side of it. All right, so then I'm finished making my person, but if I take the fashion plate and flip it over, put my person back down on it, I can color it in showing that texture. So I can put this down and color in the dress, the skirt, and this pattern that's underneath the skirt shows up just like that. And I could, let's see, I could do this pattern, and that pattern shows up on the shirt. But sometimes it's fun just to do the fashion plate girl and then get colored pencils and color it in nice and neat. But that's how you use the fashion plates. And once you're done with one, you need to let somebody else take a turn. And you're going to put everything back in, including the fashion plate book, and put that back in the brown cubby when you're finished. And that's how we're going to use the gray baskets in the brown cubby.